I'm Abhishek. I work with Redbus.in. I drive digital marketing and customer acquisition for Redbus. I've been there for about 8 months, and before that, I was with Yatra.com. So my overall experience has been in digital. I've been doing this for about 8 years. Digital, obviously, the traditional digital marketing channels, but last year or so, what I've been focusing more on is the mobile part. So all of you know how important mobile is in today's world. There are Mintras of the world who are moving completely on mobile. Uh, so everyone is realizing today that mobile is something that you just can't ignore, whatever business you are in. At Redbus also, a huge share of our traffic today comes from mobile. So in terms of numbers, about 50% of our transactions happen on mobile. Traffic is obviously far higher than that. We have about 4 million app downloads across different Play stores. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. We know that the opportunity is still huge. There are a lot of other e-commerce companies who have app downloads in tens of millions, and some exorbitant numbers. So the focus of my discussion today is on the mobile world. Um, so why I chose this topic, like I said, at Redbus, our focus today is completely on mobile. Our consumers are moving online. Our consumers are moving on mobile. Another very significant thing that we have realized, that people who move to online from offline, most of them start with a handset. So today, people who are moving online, who are connecting to internet from tier 2, tier 3 cities, they are starting with a handset. So for them, the first platform of connecting to online is actually a smartphone. So today, anything that a digital marketer should do should be mobile first. So that is the entire thing of my presentation today. I'll talk about why mobile first is the right approach and what are some of the things that you can do on mobile. So some numbers, I'm sure you can pull out this from anywhere on the internet. But the reason I put this slide here just to give some context, just to set some context on the magnanimity of the opportunity. So mobile today, there are 100 million active social media accounts. There are about 946 million mobile phones in India. So just if you look at the total population and correlate that with the handset today, you will understand how big is the mobile opportunity. And most of these people who are on mobile, who are active on social media account, are really, really active on the mobile platform. So today they do recharge online, they consume internet, they consume entertainment on mobile, they view videos, they book movie tickets, they book travel. So a lot of this has started happening on the mobile platform. I don't think this is visible back there. Is it visible? So what I'm trying to show here is the media consumption habit. So media consumption, basically, traditionally, everyone knows that India has been a TV market. So the FMCGs and consumer durable companies of the world, they advertised on TV because obviously TV had the highest reach. People consumed media ads on TV far better. You probably, all of you spent a lot of time on TV a few years back, but that is changing. Today, this number, which is not visible, about 102 minutes is what an average user spends on a mobile phone on an average, compared to overall media per day consumption of 6 hours. So out of 6 hours that average users spends on media, including TV, radio, newspaper, desktop internet, about 30% of that is on mobile. So that is the most significant number for us to look at. So almost one third of people who actually consume media in India today are on mobile phones. Okay. So what is the objective of mobile marketing? So today, mobile marketing, there are the most important objectives that people drive using mobile marketing. One is customer acquisition, and second is customer engagement. So what do I mean by these? So customer acquisition. So obviously, like I said, the users are moving to mobile. There are new customers who are moving to mobile. So one biggest objective of mobile marketing is to drive customer acquisitions. So in terms of what does customer acquisition mean? So it means trying to sell a product online, trying to make an app download happen, or getting subscriptions, generating leads. So that's one objective that typically a mobile marketing channel drives. Another objective is customer engagement. So this is, probably one big thing which some of the large e-commerce companies are missing today. So today everyone focuses on app downloads. Everyone says, there are companies who boast about their app download numbers. I have 10 million downloads, I have 50 million downloads. But then, the point that everyone is missing is how many of those app downloads are active. So even today, even, all of you would have 15, 20 apps on your mobile, but how many of those do you use on a daily basis? So that's, I think, is the key. At Redbus as well, we are focusing a lot on this. We have dedicated teams driving app engagement. So see, the entire idea is you can make people download apps. You can make people come to your website. You can make them transact once. But how do you keep them engaged? So if you have a 10 million app download, and if only probably 500,000 are using your app on a monthly basis, what's the point? If the rest of the people have your app just for the sake of it, you will not be able to drive engagement. So the point here is mobile marketing is a very, very strong channel for driving engagement. So the people who have your app or who have been your customer in the past, how do you bring them back to your website or on your mobile platforms? So that's another important objective that we drive through mobile marketing today. Any questions so far? I know there is a session at the end for questions, but if you have anything in between, please feel free to. Do I see a hand?
What is the percentage of usage of an app compared to a download on an average for a commercial app?
So see, that varies on a lot of things. So for example, if you look at e-commerce, e-commerce is an impulse purchase category. So today, when you download a Flipkart or Amazon app, a lot of people actually just use it for window shopping. When you're in your free time, you browse categories, you look at different products available, and probably you find something interesting, you buy. But then there are categories like travel. Travel typically is a need-based thing. You actually book a flight ticket, a bus ticket, or a hotel only when you have a need for it. So the behavior is different in different segments, but if there is a gold standard, there is a benchmark. Typically, people talk about 35% engagement. So if you have a million app downloads, at least 35, 33, one third of your customers should be active. If your active base is less than that, then you have a problem. If you are, have an active base which is slightly better than that, then you are doing something good compared to others. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay. So the mobile marketing mix, what are some of the channels that are used, that can be used for driving mobile marketing? App-based, so banner ads in app is a very popular way of driving mobile marketing. A lot of companies do that. I'm sure some of you must have seen it. So when you play games, when you are in different apps, you see ads at the bottom, or you see interstitial ads when you are moving from one screen to another. So some of the very popular games in the market like Subway Surfer and Candy Crush, a lot of these apps work on a model where they show ads. So that's very interesting way of driving some of the mobile marketing objective. Then obviously there is search. Search is very important for a mobile marketing point of view because search is an intent. So a customer who is searching for something, he has intent to buy something. So he is probably a more qualified customer. So being present on search, paid search, organic search, and app download ads, all of that is very, very critical from a mobile marketing point of view.
So are you talking about which search? Play Store search?
This is Google search. Play Store search is also part of it, but primarily see the scale at which Google search will happen is far bigger than Play Store search. So that also will be a part of it. Play Store search right now, there are very limited opportunities in terms of advertising, but yeah, App Store optimization is something that you can definitely do. But when it comes to Google search, there are a lot of opportunities. You can actually advertise through SEM. You can do a lot of other engagement. You can do page deep linking. So there are a lot of things that you can do on Google search. Mobile image ads, this is banner ads on the mobile GDN or on the mobile website network. So Google has a MGDN, mobile GDN network. There are similarly a lot of other ad networks who give access to the mobile website inventory. So that is another popular source of mobile marketing. SMS. So a lot of people would say that it's a abused channel, overused. There are the BFSIs, banks of the world, insurance companies of the world who have been using this channel and abusing this channel. But even then, even today, if done properly, if done strategically with the proper segmentation, SMS marketing can work very well. So we have tried that at our end. So if you know what segment to reach with what message, if your message is relevant to a target customer, SMS marketing still works. Okay. So probably some of the mistakes that typically the traditional companies have done is doing bulk SMS marketing. So if you just spray and pray, if you send 100 million messages with the same communication, it might not work. But the entire idea behind SMS marketing is segmentation and targeting. So creating different segments and sending relevant communications to those segmented customers. So yes, there are sources available. That completely depends on what product you are trying to promote. But there are a lot of relevant databases available. For example, you can work with telcos. Telcos can tell you the demographic, geographic segmentation. They can in fact tell you even behavioral targeting. So what are the people who travel on a weekly basis? What are the people who enter different roaming circles? There are different segments that you can get and you can target them accordingly. So telcos is one example. Then there could be anything. So any platform which has a huge customer base, captive audience base, can be used for SMS. So for example, say Naukri.com, which has a captive base of people who are looking for jobs. So typically Naukri.com is platform for the first someone who is in their first job. So they will also have a lot of different segments. They can do segmentation based on probably the industry. If you are a FMCG guy, you will have particular behavior. If you are from a IT field, then obviously you will have a different behavior. So there are different ways of segmenting user. So there are different sources of getting this data, and obviously you can segment them in different ways. But the key is to customize the message that you are sent to each of these segments. QR codes is something which a lot of companies have been using these days. So basically the idea is to generate QR code, promote it on online, offline, different modes, and then basically try and bring users back to your mobile platform. So I don't know if some of you have seen, if you have noticed the live app. So a live app, I'm sorry, is it a live app? So there have been they have been advertising in newspapers with QR codes where you scan and you watch a video on the mobile. So that's just a way of bringing users back to the mobile platform. There are a lot of other use cases of QR code. So one very interesting use case. So I don't know if you have noticed Amazon and Flipkart, if you download their app, you can actually scan barcodes. So if you want to buy a product, you see something somewhere, you scan the barcode, and Amazon and Flipkart will show you the product on their websites. You can buy it from there. That's just one use case. So there are people across the industry, people outside India who are doing a lot on that front. So there are some malls in Singapore where they have beautifully combined the brick and mortar plus the online world. So you walk into a store, you have your mobile phone, you scan a barcode inside a store, you try it on, scan the barcode, and you can make a payment online. So you don't have to get into a queue and all. So it's a combination of online and offline. So basically that concept, QR code, barcode scanning, it's something which is helping connect offline and the online world. Okay. Local advertising has become very important for some specific set of people. So one strong use case. Okay, so there are a lot of people who are who run businesses based on geography. So if you have a store, for example, if you have a store in Shivaji Nagar in Bangalore, Shivaji Nagar in Pune, and you know your catchment area is around that, about 4 or 5 kilometers. So you can work with some companies, you can work with telcos to send SMSs or some other communication to people who enter that circle. So that sort of local targeting is very powerful today. There is a lot of work happening on Google's end to enable this on the mobile GDN or mobile search end. So there are in fact ways where you can actually target Google as well, Google search as well, to do local targeting. So for example, if I have to give you an example, yeah, so Make My Trip is into hotels booking, and they know that obviously people who uh, are on airport, they'll be looking at a hotel stay, so they can actually look at the geography, they can target those geographies, and anyone who enters or exits airport, they can send SMSs, or if the user has a Make My Trip app, they can actually send a push notification to that particular user. So that level of localization is something that a lot of people are doing these days. So these are some of the, the most common, most popular ways in which people are driving mobile marketing in the industry today. So again, I don't know if this is very clearly visible at the back, but I'll try and explain what this is. So I'm trying to show a mobile search snapshot here. There is a search ad at the top, then there is an app download ad below that, and there is an organic listing below that. So this is typically, how you get the share of the entire searches on Google. So the search here is Bangalore to Kanyakumari bus. The first ad that you see is a paid SEM ad, which is obviously for customer acquisition. Then we have an app download ad as well. So this is for driving traffic to our website. This is for making people download our app. And then plus there is an engagement ad here. So the ad at the bottom, the third ad is actually organic listing. It's not exactly ad. It's an organic listing which is happening because of some indexing that we have done at our end. So the objective here is to drive engagement. So in fact, if you look closely or if you search on your mobile phone the same keyword, you will see that if you have the app installed on your mobile, Google will actually say that app installed, open app. So you can click there and directly go to the relevant page in our website or on the mobile app. So on search, these are primarily the most important forms of advertising. Obviously, there are other options like click to call. If you have a very strong presence on the offline world, if you want to drive traffic to your call center, you can actually run click to call ads. You can divert traffic directly to your call center. See, one very relevant thing is whenever a user does a search, so typically, there is a golden triangle in all search. So the golden triangle basically is basically the clicks that people get on a search result page. So if you search something, typically most of the searches happen on the top 3 results and probably a couple of results on the top. So there is a triangle. If you look at the user click behavior, there is a triangle. So the idea behind doing something like this is to get the highest share of voice. So if there are 100 people searching for a particular keyword, how do you make the maximum percentage of those users come to you instead of going to competition? So if you look at this search, in the first scroll, you will only see Redbus. You will not see any competition. So we are trying to do all of that. So mobile becomes very important in that because obviously mobile screen is smaller. So the attention span of the user is typically on the first screen. So if you are able to capture a lot of the first screen search, then half of the battle is won there. So that's why having all of these things together actually add on to the overall click share that you get from different searches. Some of the other mobile marketing channels, banner ads. Obviously, mobile GDN allows you to run banner ads on different sites. You can do contextual targeting, placement targeting, affinity segments. So there are different ways of running banner campaigns. Obviously, remarketing is another important aspect. You can actually reach out to your customers on the mobile web through remarketing as well. Remarketing today also works for apps. So if you have an app and someone searches for a particular product on your app, you can actually do remarketing and bring them back to that product page of your app. So that is something which is also available in today's world. You can do all of that through deep linking. Facebook is another important channel. But a lot of companies today use Facebook primarily for engagement. So building engagement, talking to your customers. How does this help typically? So typically engagement building is very important from a lifetime value point of view. So LTV basically is the lifetime value of a customer. So if a customer comes to you over a period of a year, 2 year, or the life cycle of the product, how much does the customer spend on your website? So that actually is driven by some of the engagement campaigns that you can run. So Facebook is important channel. Display, MGDN also helps in building this engagement. One very critical part of driving engagement ads is deep linking in your mobile. So how does a deep link work? So if you have different products, you have a large product catalog on your website, you can actually create specific links for your app screens, and you can link them back to your mobile website. Suppose you have a product page on your mobile website and you have a relevant page on your mobile app as well. You can tell Google through deep links through sitemap that these two pages are related. So when someone opens a product page on web and he already has an app installed, then a user can be directed to that particular screen. So app engagement in today's world is something that a lot of people are focusing on. So probably a year back, a lot of the large e-commerce companies were focusing more on app download. But today, with the technology evolving, with the deep linking available, people are moving towards engagement ads. ASO. So this is the search part of the Google Play search that you're talking about. So Google Play today obviously is very important from a discoverability point of view. If you have an app, you have to be visible on the Play Store. So this chart shows how typically people discover an app on the Play Store. So about 50% of people actually search with keywords. So this again obviously depends in the category that you are in, but on average about 50% of people actually discover apps through keyword search. So for example, flight booking app, or whatever, a trivia game. So people typically go to Play Store and they search for different keywords. There is a small percentage, probably not small exactly, in fact, 27%, 1/4 of the audience who discover apps through category listings. So on the Play Store, there are different categories. So you have travel, transport, business, games. There are different categories. So there are some set of people who actually discover apps through that category as well. So one point to note here. So I don't know how many of you know that category. There have been e-commerce companies who have been striving to reach at the top of each category. So today everyone, the Flipkarts and Amazons of the world, everyone wants to be on the top of their category. So there is some merit into it, because obviously there are 1/4 of people who actually discover app through Play Store categories. But again, the most important part is this, keywords. So if your app is optimized, if your app ranks on your most relevant keywords, then obviously your app will be discovered. So how does that work? That's something which is called as App Store optimization. So App Store optimization obviously has its core algorithm based on the Google search algorithm. So Google uses the same sort of algorithm while ranking apps on the App Store. So typically, the concept will be the same: on-page optimization, off-page optimization. Will need some relevant content for those keywords. Will need to have good reviews and ratings. So the concept, the basic concept behind App Store optimization still stays the same. But some of the most important aspects of App Store optimization, something which is different from desktop SEO. So one very important part of ASO, App Store optimization, is reviews and ratings. So if you have good reviews, and if you respond to your reviews, if you respond to customers who are writing reviews about your product, Google actually gives that a lot of importance. So it's not only about number of reviews. So the most important parts are rating into number of reviews, and plus your responsiveness to those reviews. So you will today see that a lot of bigger e-commerce companies, travel companies have started doing that. So they have dedicated people who actually reply to each and every review that a user writes on Play Store. So Google actually consider all of that and ranks your app based on that. Some of the other important things when it comes to Play Store listings. So on App Store or on Play Store, you will see that there is a provision to upload images, videos. So that is also something which is important from an App Store optimization point of view. Google gives importance to that as well. One key thing in images is that you can actually localize them. So if you are into multiple countries, you can upload images, or even in India, you can upload images in multiple languages. You can talk about a product in different languages. And again, that's also very important. If users are doing searches in local languages and you have images or content into local languages, then obviously the possibility of your app ranking is better than others. So that's another important part of App Store optimization. The most critical part now, so I don't know how many of have you heard of Google I/O. So there was an event which happened recently in US, Google I/O. It's an annual thing which where Google talk about some of the innovations in search and in the overall Google space. So one important thing that came out of that um, is that Google is going to give a lot of importance to your indexing from mobile web to mobile app, and plus Google Now is going to be very important. So, do you know what is Google Now? How many of you have heard of Google Now? Yeah, so Google Now basically is sort of assistant, is an online assistant which tells you about different things that are happening. So if you have a flight booked, on the notification tray you will get a Google Now notification saying that leave now to reach on time for your flight. So that is called as Google Now. So Google Now is becoming a very integral part of App Store ranking or your app discoverability. So basically Google is saying that if your app is marked up with some information where Google can understand what you are trying to communicate, then obviously your app will rank better on Play Store. And plus, Google will show that information in the Google Now notification tray. So that's one major thing which has come out of Play Store.
Does Google take your geography information while ranking your app?
Geographic information in terms of your business location.
Yeah, something like that.
So business location, if you have listed on Google, if you have listed your local business, if you have a local listing on Google, and if people are searching from that location, then obviously Google gives importance to that particular. See, the entire uh, theory behind the Google algorithm, they want to show the most relevant ad to a user. So if you are searching from, say,
Pune geography.
so not at that level. I don't think Google has gone down at that level, but obviously at a country level, it still does that. So if you are in India, if you go to Singapore, and if you search for app, for example, if you search for Uber app in India versus you search a Uber app in Singapore, and when you download the app, Google will recognize your location and it will open the relevant the country app. But I don't think city level location targeting is as of now happening. So at least not in ASO. So you can obviously do that in ads. When you run ads, you can obviously do that level of targeting through Google AdWords or some other platforms. But when it comes to organic listing, I don't think, at least in app world, it does that. On Google search, it still happens. Google search is very personal today. It's very localized. So when you search on Google, search something today, you will see results which are most relevant to you in terms of location as well. But Play Store, yeah, probably, see, the point is on Play Store, unlike search, unlike Google search, on Play Store you will not have too many local apps. You will not have too many apps which are specific to Pune. So Google, has still not probably reached there, but that definitely is the direction. So ASO, is a very interesting piece of the puzzle. There is a entire science behind App Store optimization. There are people who spend a lot of time on working on App Store optimization. The point is, if you have an app which is relevant for some keyword searches, and if you just ensure that you have good content, so decent content in description, the title of the app, good images, and if you are proper on replying to your customers on reviews and ratings, that should be enough. So these are probably the most important part today when it comes to App Store optimization. App engagement, so we briefly touched on this earlier. So again, I don't know if this is visible. So there are search ads which you can run for app engagement. So the call to action there is open app. So if a user today already has your app, you can actually run search ads as well. So suppose, for example, this is a hotels.com ad. So a user already has a hotels.com app installed. So this is hotels or hotels tonight. So if you have a hotels tonight app installed on your app, and you go on Google web, Google search, and you search for, say, hotels in, this is hotels in San Francisco. So Google will actually know that you already have a hotels tonight app, and you can actually show your ad there. There is in fact capability that you show a open app call to action to someone who already has your app, and to others you can actually show a download now button. So you can actually target based on whether a user has your app installed or if it's a new user. So that sort of targeting is possible. Yeah, so this is another example of Facebook app engagement ad. So Facebook also has capability of running app engagement ad, where actually you can do a lot of targeting. So you can target people who have searched for a particular product and bring them back to your website. Uh, One very simple way of running app engagement ad, you can actually run it through Google Analytics. So Google Analytics, there are ways of creating segments. So I don't know how many of you actually have used segments, creating segments in Google Analytics, but Google Analytics has a very simple way of creating different segments. So for example, people who have visited your website or your app from a particular geography, or people who have visited your app from a particular operating system, a handset type, or anything. So you can create different segments in Google Analytics, and you can use the same segment. You can import them in Google AdWords, and you can run ads on them. So it's that easy. There is no complicated science behind it. The only thing that you will have to work upon is creating deep links. If your app has a deep link, then you can actually take user back to that particular page. But even if you don't have deep link, you can still run app engagement ads just by creating segments in Google Analytics and importing those segments in Google AdWords. Um, Facebook app engagement. So Facebook works on a slightly different model. In Facebook, typically how you run engagement ads is that you upload a device ID or an email ID. So when your users download your app, you obviously capture their email IDs, you capture their device IDs, and based on your internal segmentation, you can just upload a email ID, a list of email ID on Facebook, and you can target those customers, because obviously Facebook has personal information. Facebook has your email ID. So in that case, you can create whatever segment you want. You can look at segments of people who have opened your app in the last week but have not done a transaction. You can just pull out the email IDs of those users and upload on Facebook and start targeting them for that particular product. So Facebook becomes very easy, it becomes very, very specific, because you are doing a personal level targeting using an email ID. So that's how easy a Facebook retargeting can become. Push notification. So this is very interesting part of app engagement. So push notification is basically a notification, a cloud message which is sent to your device. If you have an app installed on your mobile phone, you can actually get notification on your notification tray from the apps that you have. So a lot of companies have moved from SMS to push notification. So there are a lot of benefits, of this particular channel. One is obviously the cost. So SMS is still, expense. You obviously have to invest in SMS. But push, there is an initial setup cost, but typically after that, it does not involve any recurring cost. That's one big benefit. Another big benefit is obviously regulations. So in SMS, there are tri regulation. You cannot do a lot of things. You have to do a DNC, NDNC check. App messaging you can do to anyone who has your app. So push notification works without any restrictions. There are some of the other ways where people have been using push notification. You can send push notifications to people who have your app installed, only to those people.
But I might have an app installed, but it might not be running on my mobile.
It might not be running. If you have the app installed, you can still get push notifications.
How does this work?
So see, it's a cloud technology. If you have an app on your mobile, I can send you a notification. Your app will not open, but on the notification tray, just like a WhatsApp message, you will get a message from that app. And on tap, you can actually open that app. So the app will not be open in the background, but you will get a notification in the notification tray, just like a WhatsApp message. As soon as you click on it, you will go to the app.
So are you trying to tell me that each app that I have downloaded is actually active on my mobile?
So they're not active. You don't have to be active. You don't have to have an app active to get push notifications. For example, a simple use case is WhatsApp. So today you have downloaded WhatsApp.
WhatsApp message I will not get if I have not loaded WhatsApp.
No. So installed.
WhatsApp app.
Exactly.
But if I don't start it in my mobile, then till then the message doesn't
So
come, right?
in WhatsApp, you just have to download the app, log in once, and even after that, if you have not kept it open, you have closed the app, you will still get notifications. That's exactly the concept that this works on. See, the simple concept is you don't have to have the app open. Otherwise, you have 15 apps on your mobile. You can't keep all of them open. But you still want to know when there is something new happening in particular app. If on Facebook, if someone is sending you a message, you want to know if there is a message that has come in. So the technology works like that. Even if you don't have the app open, it will still push you a message, and you can still tap on it and go back to the app.
Are there blockers
You can turn off notifications. So every app has a notification. Not every, most of the apps have settings where you can turn off notifications. Plus, at a phone level as well, most of the handsets today have settings where you can turn off all notifications. See, at the time of downloading app, you give some permissions typically. When you're downloading app and you're installing app, every app will ask you for some permissions. So some of those permissions will be these permissions. If you go into each of these permissions, you can set permissions where you don't receive notifications. I mean, even after that, you can go to your apps manager in whatever apps OS that you are using, and you still have the capability of blocking any app from sending you a push notification. About 5 to 7 years back, banner ads were a rage. So everyone was running banner ads. Today there are pop-up blockers, there are ad blockers. You can block most of the ads. See, that happens with any ad technology. First few years, it will probably give you the best efficiency, best ROI. But over the period of time, people will find a way to probably block those ads. But then there is innovation happening. So if if Google is doing something like that, obviously there will be some other innovative way of running ads. In fact, today there are technologies. I've been discussing with some of the companies where they can send notification outside of the push notifications. You can actually, so if you have used a Facebook Messenger, when you get a message on Facebook Messenger, it shows a bubble on your handset on the home screen. So there are companies who can actually do that advertising today. So that's the next phase of push notification. You can actually show bubble ads on your mobile handset. So if push notifications, people start blocking push notifications, there are ways of innovating and looking at other ad platforms. So why mobile marketing? So we have spoken about different aspects, different types of channels that people typically use for mobile marketing. Some of the reasons, it's obviously instant. You reach someone immediately. When you are advertising on a desktop, you wait for people to come log into a desktop and see your ad. But on mobile, it's instant. Everyone has a mobile in their in their pockets. You can send a push notification. You can send a push notification which has sound actually. People will know that there is a notification which has come in. So the point is, it becomes very instant. It becomes very personal. People always have their mobile phones on them, and you reach out to all of them whenever you want to. Push notification can be at whatever level. You can just send a push notification saying that, hey, you have not used my app for a long time, click here and come back to my app. That's a simple most form of push notification. You can do product based push notification where you say that I'm offering X% discount on this product today. A user clicks on it and goes to that particular product page. There is a even more advanced stage of push notification where you can actually deep link at a personal level. So for example, a user was buying a product on your app, and he did not buy, he dropped off, he closed your app. You can send him a push notification saying that hey, you were looking at this product, click here, go back to your cart and get X% discount. So that level of personalization is also possible. First of all, you are saying, so if I get your question correct, you are saying that Ixigo has an app, and when you search on Ixigo, it will have deep links to other apps. It will not have organic or paid. So typically, someone like Ixigo will have a paid links. Obviously, it wants to make money. So it will give paid links to other OTAs or other companies like us. Yeah, for that deep linking is required. If you want to do app to app transfer, then there is some deep linking required. But you can also do a app to mobile web transfer. So if you have an app, so if you want to advertise on app, but you yourself don't have a mobile app, you can actually bring a user back to the mobile website from app. So you do not have necessarily a mobile app. Yeah, so mobile marketing, I think some of the most important points are reach, the instant part of it. You can actually do a location aware targeting. So we're talking about specific location targeting. You can reach out to customers from a very, very specific location. You can in fact even do geo targeting, geo code targeting, latitude longitude targeting through some of the mobile marketing initiatives. Yeah, some of the other benefits, high response rate, opt-in marketing, unique individual metric. You can actually measure performance of a particular campaign at a unique user level. You can see what are the different type of users who have come back to your app or they've interacted. So see, one big benefit of mobile advertising is that every user is identifiable. Unlike desktop web, in desktop web you can't identify a unique user, but on mobile web you can identify a unique user through an email ID or a device ID. So today everyone of you will have a Gmail login on your app, on your mobile. So you have a Gmail app, you have logged into your Gmail app using a Gmail ID. So mobile marketing can actually target you as an individual level. You can actually identify each of your customer at an individual level. That is probably the biggest strength of mobile marketing in the today's world. Yeah, so I think that's it from my side. Any questions, please? See, ratings, there is a lot of research which is happening, which has been happening behind that. So the review collection mechanism, the rating mechanism is very important. So the way you collect ratings and reviews on an app can actually determine what is the rating that you get. So for example, a lot of apps have a default option in the menu. You can actually go and rate an app. But some of the bigger apps like Amazons and Flipkarts or even Redbus will not have an option in menu for rating, because if you have an option in the menu on the home page, anyone can go and rate. So ideally, some of the larger apps, what they're doing is they're giving you option of rating only when you have a good experience. So for example, you are searching for something on an app, you book something, you have done a transaction. After that, I'll ask you, did you like our app? Did you have a good experience? If a user says no, I take his comments and let him go. But if he says yes, I had a good experience, then I ask him, do you want to rate us on Play Store? So that's a very interesting way that a lot of people are doing it. So you first understand if a user is happy or he's not happy with your app, and ask him to rate your app only when he is happy. So only then you take him to a Play Store and ask him to write his reviews. So that's one way. Believe me, there are people who are doing a lot of things behind this. So you can target, you can do time-based targeting. You know that typically, if you have an entertainment app, then probably when people are free from whatever a particular time slot, they will be more likely to use your app. So you can send them push notification at that point of time, asking them to review and rate your app. So there are different ways of ensuring that you get good rating. But the key concept is to ensure that you ask people to review only when you know that they will give you a good rating, only when they are happy with your app. Obviously, you have to have a very good app for that. You have to have a good product. But the time at which you reach out and ask. Google Analytics is the most popular tool. In Google Analytics, you can see what downloads you have got from organic, paid search, or referrals, or Play Store. It will give you all analytics. Google Analytics is one tool. There are a lot of other tools available in the market: Localytics, AppSeller, Mat. There are multiple tools in the market which can give you analytics. Google Analytics is a free tool, obviously. Most of the others are paid.
In some of the cases, we need to pass some UTM parameters and all.
So UTM parameter you need to pass for typically paid campaigns. So if you are running a banner campaign somewhere, then you typically pass the UTM parameter in the deep link. But otherwise, typically organic downloads and SEM downloads, all of them are auto-tracked. This is a good question if everyone wants to listen to this. If your question is, there are X number of downloads, only whatever Y% of them are active. So, you spend money on retaining them. So how do you measure the effectiveness of that campaign? See, typically, for anyone, app download is a very high cost. So when you are driving app downloads, typically it's very expensive. If you want good quality download, it is very expensive. But when you have a user who is already downloaded your app, it becomes very, very inexpensive or very efficient to try and bring him back. So engagement is very cheap. So push notifications, for example, like I said, you can do it without recurring cost. You can run Google ads, but if a user is already with you, engagement ads are not very expensive. So in terms of ROI, engagement definitely makes more sense. I'll not run behind acquiring 100 million more app downloads. If I have a 10 million base, my first objective would be to move the active base from 25% to 50%. If I can do that, I've won the war on the mobile world. I think we are done with the time.